YB stays on your neck.
Stays on my neck.
And I have to ask this: you won the fight clearly after you stopped him. After the fight, a lot of people were making excuses for Joshua, all kinds of conspiracy theories. What did you make of that?
You know what? I think Eddie Hearns or his people were trying to get something why he lost like that, you know. But he fought.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So we just heard there from Andy, my speed, my movement, my combinations, Ruiz exposing Eddie cover up her. Now I'm joking, but bottom line is Andy Ruiz just said there that he believes Eddie Hearn and AJ's team are responsible for all of the conspiracy theories. Now I've got to be honest, was YB a proponent of the conspiracy theories? Absolutely. And I can promise you lot, I didn't receive no brown envelope from Hearn. In fact, to be honest, I've been quite critical of Eddie Hearn, so for sure he weren't paying me, which kind of dispels the rumours that, oh yeah, Eddie Hearn put the rumours out. Eddie Hearn and AJ's team have done nothing but disagree with the rumours, adamantly so. In fact, they've been under heat, and most people who have gone down the conspiracy route, and to be honest with you, it's not really a conspiracy, it's fact at this point, from where I'm sitting. When you look at all of the evidence, when you look at all of the information, anyone who can evaluate and analyse information, there's something not right here. I've said it, Hall of Famer boxers have said it, everyone's been saying it, more or less. So in reality, the conspiracy theorists are the people who sit there and say, oh yeah, that was Joshua 100%, yeah, there was nothing wrong, listen to Joshua, listen to Hearn, listen to the people who would be liable for putting Joshua in the ring with a concussion, yeah, listen to the people who have to lie, listen to the people who can't tell the truth, otherwise they lose their licence. Right, anyway, back to the point of this. So not only that does not make sense to me, but fundamentally, Andy Ruiz is saying that Eddie Hearn put the rumours out to take the edge off of the attacks on Joshua, to take the edge off of. But I just don't see it myself. I really don't. If anything, Eddie Hearn said stuff like, "Oh yeah, AJ feels relieved he's lost the belts." Now, if for someone who's trying to protect AJ from the loss and make excuses, Eddie Hearn would have said, "Oh yeah, AJ's happy to have lost the belts," if he was trying to protect and make an excuse for the situation. From that makes it sound as if AJ's happy he lost the belts, as if AJ's happy it went this way. So it's, for me, the information doesn't add up. Eddie Hearn and AJ's team are the only ones, in fact, more or less. They're the only ones outside of the Ruiz fanboys. AJ and his team are the only ones saying there was no excuse. He was fine. So I'm sorry, I don't believe Eddie Hearn did make it up, but it's quite interesting to think about it from Ruiz's perspective. The fact Ruiz is blaming Eddie Hearn, does that potentially, well, I guess it's the same way that he said AJ can't box. It's like he's taking a dig at AJ's team. Now, he's got every right to do that, to be fair. If he wants to mug AJ's team off and say, oh yeah, they're making excuses for him, even though publicly they've said, I'm not sure, listen, what more could Eddie Hearn and Joshua's team have done to not make excuses? Seriously. This has been one of the most in fact it is. This is the most non-excuse I've ever seen a team. Put in the comments below, have you ever seen a team make less excuses? In fact, I'm trying to think of one excuse. There isn't one. And these conspiracies are against AJ and his team. Does that make sense? Why would Eddie Hearn put out a rumour? Oh yeah. Why would Eddie Hearn start a rumour which, if proved true, could disband his license? For sure, McCracken, and Eddie Cover-Up Hearn would lose their license if it came out that AJ was put in the ring with a concussion. Trust me, Eddie Hearn's the last person who wants this rumour going around, who wants this conspiracy going around. They're trying to shut down the YB. Fact. That's what we do know, yeah? But as I was saying, I feel it's not a bit snaky of Ruiz, but what it comes down to, he's feeling himself. Just like the comments he made. I'm going to do a video on this in its own right, but Ruiz made comments saying Joshua can't box and whatnot. So he feels nice at this point. He feels like the boss man. He feels like the king. He can sit there and say, yeah, Eddie Hearn started these rumours. Yeah, he's trying to make excuses for Joshua. Yeah, he's trying to give Joshua a way out. he's trying to make excuses for Joshua. And I feel the reason I feel that's particularly muggy is because the reason I feel it's particularly muggy is because of how strong Hearn and AJ's team have been, not making excuses and not buying into conspiracy. They've been literally trying to shut it down. So for AJ's team to try and shut these rumours down and completely say they're rubbish and not make any excuses, for them to do that, and for Ruiz to jump on him and still say, yeah, it came from Hearn, that shows to me he's just trying to mug it. It's almost like, I'm trying to think of an example, it's almost like, I can't think of an analogy to explain, but it's just, yeah, he's pushing an issue which isn't there. He's just feeling himself. That's what it comes down to. He feels he's in a position where he can just say anything he wants. Yeah, Eddie Hearn put the rumours out. Eddie Hearn trying to protect AJ, trying to make excuses for him. In fact, I wouldn't have a problem. Let's say if Eddie Hearn had come out and said, oh yeah, well, actually, we did hear about the sparring rumours, and oh yeah, actually, yeah, apparently he did get put down in sparring. I'd be like, I understand what you're saying, but what more could Eddie Hearn have done? But that's, in a way, I guess that's Andy Ruiz is right. All I hope is that just make sure when you're feeling this nice, when all of this stuff's going to your head, all I ask for is that you keep the same energy. Whatever happens in 6 months, just make sure you keep that same energy. Because in my opinion, Andy Ruiz is feeling himself a little too nicely. He's feeling himself a little too nicely. Yeah, that's what we do know. All of this business, oh, AJ can't box, and oh yeah, Eddie Hearn put the rumours out, AJ's team put the rumours out, AJ's team trying to protect him, even though they haven't made any excuses publicly. It's them, put the blame on them. That's what I'm thinking anyway. This my man's feeling like the boss man out here. Yeah, he's got all them. You notice as well with the Andy Ruiz fans, no one was supporting Andy Ruiz before. There was a few dons, don't get me wrong, but there was no mass hysteria about it. It was a few dons sprinkled around. Literally sprinkled. Now all of a sudden, no word of a lie, I'd say probably 1 in 5 people. Oh yeah, Randy Ruiz. Yeah, Ruiz. Yeah, Ruiz, the best fighter ever lived. Yeah, Ruiz doesn't... This is how gas people are. People are telling me, when I'm sitting there and saying, I want to see the best Ruiz on the night. I want to see Ruiz coming in 230. People are literally telling me, oh, you know what you're talking about. Ruiz doesn't need to lose weight. Ruiz is his best at 270. This is how gassed people are. If that isn't the definition of gassed, you are sitting there and saying, no, this man's so great, he can afford to be fat. Anyone who believes that has not a clue about the sport. If you sit there and actually think Andy Ruiz is better at 270, that just shows how much of a fangirl you are. Yeah? It's like me sitting here and saying, oh yeah, Joshua's better at 250 with loads of muscles and can't... No, with no gas tank. That's how and to be fair, there are some dons who say that. No word of a lie. When I've made critiques of Joshua's cardio and whatnot, they come out and say, oh, YB, you know what you're talking about. Well, Joshua's got trainers. Joshua knows what he's doing. That's what they say. Fangirlism. At its great, at its finest. But anyway, to the point. All I'm asking for is make sure you fangirls who have crawled out the woodworks, just make sure you don't get your boy too gassed, because let's not forget, in my opinion, that was AJ on his absolute worst day, and even on his never. I think you lot don't appreciate when I say worst day, I mean beyond worst day. I mentioned this in one of my live streams. Some people were talking about how AJ's being cloned. That's how bad that performance was. It was beyond a worst day. It was a cloned performance, literally. And I'm not really into that whole clone business, but for that performance, I have to agree, you're right, he probably was cloned, based on that. That's how bad it was. That was an out-of-body experience, and what you got to bear in mind is, even with AJ, in a cloned experience, he put Andy Ruiz down. Do you understand that? We don't need, us AJ people, don't need much upside here. We don't need much of an uptick. We only need an extra 10%, and that fight would have been over at that point. And so I'm feeling nice at this point. But all I'm saying is, there's been many people, there's been many jump shippers, many, in fact most, I'd say at least half of the dons that were here before have disappeared, and have suddenly become Wilder and Fury fans and Ruiz fans. And don't worry, I've got a mental note of certain dons, don't worry. So when 6 months' time, just make sure you keep it consistent, because you will be getting exposed. Fact. You'll be getting exposed. 100%, no doubt. All these these dons on the sides waiting, seeing which bandwagon to jump on. That's what they're like. And this Ruiz cat, in my opinion, is getting a little too gassed. He's feeling a little too nice. Feeling like the man. Bottom line. And in reality, what's he done? Yeah, he's beat AJ, no doubt. But he ain't really done much. He's got one good win in his career. Which is better than, to be fair, in this day and age, he's better than most fighters, to be honest. But still, he's only had one half-sharp fight against the worst AJ in history. Now, that's not taking nothing away. I'm not disputing he beat AJ. But in a way, in my opinion, competitively, he must know what he was in there with. But then again, it's not his problem. He can only beat what's in front of him. You know what? Scrap it all. 6 months' time, keep the same energy. Bottom line. All of this pointing the thing, oh, AJ, Eddie Hearn's teammate, AJ making it up, AJ started the rumours. Alright, boss. Gassed.